like a storm in a tin. Papa Mojo's got a grin so thin, jokes so sharp they could slice through air. Pull up a chair if you dare. It's Papa Mojo's Comedy Corner tonight. Laugh so wild they'll take flight. Knee slappers and gut busters all in sight. Papa Mojo's Comedy Corner tonight.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Papa Mojo's Comedy Corner. God, I love that tune. It is so snappy. I am your host, Papa Joe, or just regular old Joe, and with me is, of course, our co-host,
Mama Mo.
And today we have a great show. So last week we introduced the adventures of Joe Bruno and his family.
Right.
Now, Joe Bruno is Papa Mojo. That's his stage name when he goes up on stage and performs his comedy. He's also a cab driver. And what we've done is we've created stories about Joe Bruno and his family.
Right.
And the
His
adventures.
day-to-day life.
His day-to-day life, his adventures. So we have one for you today. We hope you enjoy it. A lot of work went into it, but I think we did a great job.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it.
I think you will. And remember, this is all based on they're not real people. This is all strictly fictional. This one is. The next ones, you just never know. There might be a little. But hey, right now, enjoy the show, man, everybody.
It was Tuesday, December 2nd, around 5 o'clock, when the boys met up in front of the butcher shop for a beer. Joe had just wrapped up a couple of double shifts driving taxi, plus a few open mic nights at the comedy club, running new material. It had been a rough week. Darnell was buried in lesson plans, grading papers, and preparing for parent-teacher conferences. Cody was cranking out flower arrangements for weddings and funerals. Then there was cousin Luca. Apparently, he'd been busy. Nobody knew what he did, and nobody wanted to know. He said he'd been collecting, and everyone just prayed it was baseball cards, because thinking that way helps them sleep at night. Luca suggested they head over to the neighborhood social club, the Fifth Amendment. They grabbed a table and ordered drinks. It was clear Luca had something to say, but he didn't know how to say it. Joe finally said with his hands up, "All right, Luca, let's have it. But don't take that literally." Joe laughed. Nobody else did. Luca swallowed the lump from his throat and broke the news. The Don asked for an urgent delivery to be conducted, and Joe, he asked for you specifically to handle it. When the Don asks, it's not really an ask. It's more like a spiritual suggestion with mortal consequences. The table went silent. Even Luca looked scared, and he was the one passing it off. And Joe, well, he turned green. He reluctantly took the package and the address, then walked out to his cab. The address looked familiar, but he just couldn't place it. When he arrived, he started to remember where he was. Joe walked up to the house and knocked on the door. The door flung open so fast his heart nearly stopped. He jumped out of his shoes, his hat flew off, and the package went airborne. The feared person he'd been sent to see was this little old Sicilian lady. It was none other than Nonna Marinara, Don Marinara's grandmother, and former town prostitute. As frightening as it sounds, some believe she's still open for business. Rumor has it, Joe's father lost his virginity to her, and, it's possible, Don Marinara might be related in some way, but we don't talk about this, ever. Joe hadn't seen her in years, but she definitely remembered him. Well, if it isn't little Joey Bruno. You were such a terror in the neighborhood. My, how you've grown. Not taller, just wider. Then she hit him with a crippling question. "How's your father, Joey?" she said, giving Joe a wink. Joe felt emotionally disturbed. "Hi, Nonna. Please, can we not speak of my father? He's fine. I'm here because your grandson, the Don, personally requested for me to deliver this package." "How sweet. That's my little Alfredo. He's always surprising me. A real big surprise was once He stopped by one afternoon while I was entertaining a gentleman friend. It's no wonder he sent you." Joe couldn't help thinking to himself, "Little? The Don is the size of Little Italy." And the fact he walked in on her? He almost laughed and got sick at the same time. She started opening the package while Joe sweated over every layer of wrapping paper. To his surprise, inside was just provolone cheese and olives, and not a severed finger, as his mind had imagined. Joe was relieved. On that note, it was definitely time for me to leave. With respect, he leaned over and kissed her on the cheek. She tried to enhance it, but Joe quickly pulled away. "Behave, Nona," he said. She said, "You're definitely not your father," and laughed. Again, Joe almost became ill. She tipped him 10 cents and told him not to spend it all in one place and to save some for a rainy day. Joe got out of there fast. He headed back to the bar to report to Cousin Luca. By then, Darnell and Cody were gone. Luca was also relieved. He went into the back office to inform the Don that the task was completed. "The Don wants to speak to you," he said. Joe was nervous, even though the Don had known the Bruno family his entire life. It was still intimidating. He was called in and sat down. The Don smiled, pleased that Joe had completed the task with perfection, speed, and accuracy. The Don said, "This was a test of loyalty, and you passed. Also, the thought of walking in on my Nona again is about the only thing in this life I fear." He handed Joe $100 and said, "Because you performed this service for me, I am in your debt. Should you ever need a favor, I am at your service." They shook hands. But before Joe could leave, the Don held out his hand and demanded the dime Nona had given him. She gives everyone a dime. "I'll put this back on her table until I have to retrieve it again." And that was that. Joe left. By the time he got home, it was late. He collapsed on the couch and drifted to sleep, only to dream the comedian's dream, performing on stage. Stay tuned. Here is that dream performance.
I was asked by Don Alfredo Marinara to deliver an urgent package, and I was scared. Wouldn't you know, it ended up being provolone and olives for Nona Marinara.
So, what did you think, Mama? That was a pretty good slideshow.
That was definitely an adventure.
Well, and there's many more of those to come, man. So everybody, please stay tuned. We have, some of these are going to be fiction and nonfiction.
Some of them are really based on true life events.
True life events. But this one, of course, was all fictional. And if there's any names or places and dates or anybody, it's purely coincidental.
Names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Yes, hopefully we've protected a few innocent people. But like I said, this is all. This story here was fictional, but the next one, there might be a little.
Might be a little truth to it.
Might be a little bit. So hey, man, everybody, stay tuned. Peace.
God bless.
And remember, always keep it funny.
Keep it kind.
God bless everybody. Thank you.
Laugh track echoes like a storm in a tin. Papa Mojo's got a grin so thin, jokes so sharp they could slice through air. Pull up a chair if you dare. It's Papa Mojo's comedy